First, just a little background on Extreme Tech Challenge for those who are new to us. We're the world's largest tech innovation ecosystem for making the world a radically better place. Think of us as a launching pad for the disruptive innovations that can power a more sustainable, healthy, inclusive, equitable, and prosperous world. Extreme Tech Challenge is at this nexus of a global community of entrepreneurs, corporations, VCs, academia, philanthropists, policymakers, innovators, and change makers alike working together to solve the grand challenges of today and tomorrow. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goals serve as a framework for our 7 competition tracks: Ag Tech, Food and Water, Clean Tech and Energy, Ed Tech, Enabling Tech, FinTech, Health Tech, and Mobility and Smart Cities. Not only is this the right thing to do, but supporting purpose-driven tech and tech for good can also contribute to above average business results. Extreme Tech Challenge was founded by Young Sung and Bill Tai, 2 legendary Silicon Valley-based investors, corporate executives, and entrepreneurs themselves who have invested in and have built multiple billion-dollar companies that are household names today. They are passionate about our mission to empower founders, all of you, building innovative technologies that improve the world, and really believe in this power of the community to come together and identify potential market leading companies that can change the world in a big way, and then provide them the rocket fuel to help them scale faster. So follow them on social media and check out Young's video interview series, The Next Wave, for some really great thoughts and practical advice for entrepreneurs and investors alike. So through participating, exceptional startups such as the companies presenting today will gain global visibility, access to investment, corporate strategic partnerships, mentorship, and develop relationships and friendships that will carry you far into the future. A quick look at metrics for this year: over 3,700 startups apply this year across almost 100 countries. And from that, over 300 judges selected 80 finalists across our 21 regional competitions around the world and through open application. So all of you as global finalists have all emerged as the top 2% from this very, very competitive application pool. And this is amazing achievement, and all of the startups finalists are winners in your own right. So here's a look at this entire cohort of 80 XTC 2021 global finalists. To learn more, make sure to check them out. Head to our website, extremetechchallenge.org. All right, so here's a look at the entire cohort of the clean tech and energy category finals. And we're so excited to hear from these 9 exceptional companies presenting today. So Bondi Bio, Awesome Ray, Resync, Salubata, EcoVadis, Mycelium, Metron Lab, Mining Process Solutions, and Planet Protector Packaging. So before we get to the presentations, let's introduce our judges. First, it's my pleasure to welcome Hannah Bailey. She's the Emerging Technologies Integration Engineer at Ford Motor Company. Giancarlo Savini, Investment Director at Honeywell, and Leonie Weirkrum, she's an investor at Kinetic VC. So now I want to turn to the judges to give them a few words to tell us about their particular investment in this particular area and their interests. So let's start with Hannah.
Hi, everyone. My name's Hannah. As my title explains, I'm an Emerging Technologies Integration Engineer, and what I focus on is new technologies in electrification, mobility, connectivity for our vehicles, and how we can really apply this to our customer base and see if we can improve our offerings for everyone. What we do is business connections within Ford, as well as some of our strategic partners along the supply chain as well.
Welcome, Hannah. And next, a few words from Giancarlo from Honeywell.
Thanks, Victoria. Super excited to be here. I'm an investment director in Honeywell Ventures. We are investing mainly in sustainability, which for us means green hydrogen, energy storage, plastic circularity, plastic sorting, recycling. Pretty wide mandate. And yeah, very excited to be part of this challenge, and looking forward to see and meet these amazing founders.
Great, welcome. And lastly, Leonie.
Hi, and thank you for having me and hosting us. My name is Leonie, and I invest across climate change. So, what that means is accelerating climate action through environmental conservation. Typically, I'll look at 4 Ps: so people, purpose, profit, and the planet. I do like to look at founders who are utilizing a systems thinking approach within their strategy, and really understanding how the SDGs are affecting climate change at the core, since I do believe climate really sits at the core of so many critical human issues across ESG. So very excited to be here, and I'm even more thrilled to see our founders present.
Awesome. Welcome, judges. Okay, well, let's get the presentation started. So first on the virtual stage, I'd like to welcome Bondi Bio.
There you go. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm James Brown. I'm CTO and co-founder of Bondi Bio. We're a synthetic biology startup established in Sydney in 2018 to biomanufacture natural products using engineered cyanobacteria, converting light, water, and CO2 into high-value compounds and chemicals. I originally trained as an engineer before discovering biotechnology while at Cambridge in the mid-2000s. My work has been grounded in engineering development and solving technical challenges using biology, and I firmly believe that nature holds the solutions to many of our key global challenges. As The Economist magazine recently wrote, what physics was to the 20th century, biology will be to the 21st. It's with that eye to the future that with my co-founders Edward and Cameron O'Brien, we founded Bondi Bio. Eddie's background's in computer technology, most significantly as the CEO of Ringtail Solutions. Ringtail was founded in 1997, within 10 years recognized as the world leader for hosting large legal disputes. Ringtail generated millions of dollars in export revenues for the Australian economy and continues to earn hundreds of millions of dollars each year in professional service fees. Our CEO Cameron has a degree in chemistry from St Andrews and a CFA, which he obtained while working as an economist in London. Our engineering expertise includes senior strain engineers Artur Lajocek and Dominic Kopp, making up an experienced team to take on these global challenges with innovative solutions grounded in biotechnology. Plant-derived compounds are the basis of many billion-dollar industries, from the essential oils used in fragrances and cosmetics, therapeutic compounds and adjuvants underpinning pharmaceuticals and vaccines, through nutraceuticals to agri and aquaculture products and specialty chemicals. We are increasingly relying on what nature has created. However, there's a problem. Supply pressures are increasing due to unsustainable harvesting methods and rapidly rising consumer demand. Many are threatened by political and trade uncertainty, ecosystem destruction, and environmental impacts from climate change. Petrochemical substitutes are environmentally damaging and unsustainable. Our solution is to harness the power of engineered biology, programming cyanobacteria to biomanufacture these compounds from light, water, and CO2. Our flexible platform technology allows us to sustainably produce thousands of high-value terpene compounds while simultaneously capturing carbon. Cyanobacteria are the fastest growing photosynthetic organisms on the planet, and they don't rely on plant-based sugar sources, providing no competition to crop growth on arable land. We see huge potential in our biofactories to produce high-value plant-derived compounds at scale using our solar biomanufacturing platform. We've developed a powerful set of engineered strains, patented methods, and the underpinning knowledge around this huge opportunity. Importantly, our compound target markets already exist. They are large and they're beautifully balanced for disruption. We are developing partnerships with industry leaders in our target markets, creating compound creation partnerships with ongoing royalties for product sales. Our products are sustainably sourced, capture carbon, and at cost and quantity not possible with traditional plant or petrochemical-based products. Bondi was founded in late 2018. We secured a lab access to UTS's C3 Biolabs the following May, and spent the last 2 years developing our strains, the underpinning platform technology, and our patent portfolio, reaching commercially viable yields in just 15 months of our lead exemplars. 2021 has seen Bondi gain commercial traction, progressing partnership discussions and securing our first contracts. We're excited to be partnering with a multinational, as well as key equipment suppliers, to create a large-scale production facility for our lead product, And we continue to develop commercial partnerships with an international flavour and fragrance house, as well as a specialty chemical, agri and aquaculture providers, resource companies, and large CO2 emitters. We hope you'll consider working with us here at Bondi. We're actively looking for investors and partners for compound creation across all markets. Please feel free to reach out to partners@bondi.bio or investors@bondi.bio. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, James. Over to the judges for your questions.
Hi, James. Thank you. This is Leonie. So I have a question along the lines of carbon capturing. Do you use an LCA, so life cycle assessment, or how do you measure or that you are actually capturing carbon?
So the cyanobacteria actually rely entirely on the CO2 to grow. It's their energy source. So we capture 2 tons of carbon, as CO2, for every ton of algae that we produce. So it's an inherent part of the product. So depending on how much we scale, how many hundreds of thousands of liters we produce, we can fix a significant amount of carbon using those methods. If we make sure, the other major component is energy into running the LEDs for internal control, and so those are typically done with renewable sources like solar and wind and geothermal.
Hi, James. This is Hannah. If you don't mind me jumping in, I was wondering if you could speak to any of the high-value compounds that you're working with or targeting to produce.
Sure. I think biofuels have got microalgae and a bit of a bad rep. We focus, cynos grow 10 to 20, 30 times faster than the microalgae, but we're looking at products like astaxanthin is a good example. It's a super high value compound used in fish feed and nutraceuticals and animal and human health, but also showing real promise as a anti-inflammatory and an anti-cancer as well. And that can retail at tens of thousands of dollars per kilogram. And we've also focused on things like essential oils. So in the fragrance and flavor space, things like sandalwood oil, where takes 80 years to grow a sandalwood plantation and harvest the heartwood. And we can capture carbon and turn that into these super high value compounds that are in demand and that we're struggling to source because of the deforestation and destruction that we're causing around the world.
Thank you.
James, can you articulate a little bit more on the partnership you have with these multinational? What sort of first use cases are you seeing in the industry?
Sure, I have to be careful what I say under NDA, but it's a large resource company where it's actually producing significant amount of CO2 through its industry, and so it's the company are looking to partner with Bondi to turn that, not just capture that carbon, but to turn it into a high value product to valueize their business. So and that's they're agnostic to the target molecule that we produce as a result of that. But by partnering with these large organizations that have excess power, large amounts of capital to invest in their own manufacturing facilities and take control of their destiny, we can essentially provide the wetware, the software, if you like, to these large hardware, these large production facilities, and partner with these large multinationals that, in this case, it's a large CO2 emitter, but in other examples where people already have existing market traction and market products, we provide a sustainable supply of their product. We're a business to business. We don't go straight to consumer.
Okay, thanks.
I have time for one more question if judges have any. Nope. Okay, all good. Thank you for your presentation, James from Bondi Bio.
Thank you.
Let's give a minute for the judges to enter scoring, and let's invite up Planet Protector Packaging to set up. Judges, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go.
Could Oxum Ray please take down your screen share? We had rescheduled the order of pitches, and Planet Protector is going next. Thank you.
Okay.
Fantastic.
When you're ready, Joanne.
Thank you. Who would have thought that the humble sheep would be a secret weapon to defending our planet? My name is Joanne Howard. I'm the founder and CEO of Planet Protector packaging here in Australia. We're on a mission to eliminate styrofoam. We're in a race to become the market leader in sustainable thermal packaging that does not harm the planet. Styrofoam is a disaster for the planet. The Ellen MacArthur Foundation predicts that by 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. A shocking 42% of this comes from the packaging sector. Styrofoam is not just bad for the planet, it is also an enormous challenge for businesses. They pay to store, to transport it, and then to dispose of it. And it reflects negatively on their corporate social responsibility. Until now, there's not been a viable, cost-competitive, sustainable alternative. The solution is Woolpack. What we have done is use waste wool to create this ingenious product to replace styrofoam. Woolpack offers superior thermal performance. It's biodegradable, recyclable, and 100% renewable. It is compliant across all food safety and pharma standards, and it arrives flat packed and is easy to assemble. As you can see here, Woolpack thermally outperforms styrofoam and all other competitors currently in the Australasian market. We operate in the food, seafood, and pharmaceutical sectors. We have 350 customers across Australia and New Zealand, ranging from small to medium enterprises to large multinationals and global iconic brands. We ship everything from chocolate to chemotherapy. Styrofoam is an $18 billion global market. Australia and New Zealand together represent a meagre 1.3% of this global market. Asia is right on our doorstep and represents a massive 43% of the market. The Asian market needs Woolpack. Importantly, we've focused on ensuring that our business is well defended. We have 5 patents pending and a strong vision for more. We're vertically integrating our supply chain. We have process power acquired over 5 years, and we now have strong brand awareness in a well-established and growing market with loyal customers and multi-year supply agreements. We've been well recognised globally for our disruptive innovation. I was last year humbled to be named the first ever Australian laureate in the prestigious Cartier Women's Initiative, and I'm even more proud of our recent win in the inaugural Global Ocean Pitch Fest. Our vision is to have a presence in Asia in 5 countries by 2024. We will do this by having a strategic network of distributors. To achieve this, we are working with the UN's UNIDO on a pilot program to establish a wool manufacturing site out of Mongolia to support this geographical expansion. We're very heavily vested in R&D and new product innovation. Our lobster protector has just won gold in the World Star Packaging Awards, and our new vaccine protector has just today been approved by the New Zealand government as the preferred packaging solution to distribute the Pfizer COVID vaccine. For such a small team, I'm incredibly proud of our impact to date. We've removed 7.5 million styrofoam boxes from supply chains. We've diverted 3,500 tonnes of waste wool away from landfill, and we've generated more than $7 million in new revenue for sheep farmers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing me today to share with you Planet Protector's vision for a world free from polystyrene. We can't do everything, but we can all do something to solve the ocean waste crisis. Again, I'm interested in investors, and we'd like to invite anybody who's keen to progress the discussions to join the Planet Protector flock.
Thank you, Joanne, for your presentation. Judges, your questions. Giancarlo.
Sorry, I'm mute. Thanks, John, for your presentation. And I was wondering, what sort of premium are you expecting your customers to pay for these, let's say, advanced packaging? Is it in the order of, I don't know, plus 5%, plus 20%? compared to normal packaging? What sort of premium are you expecting them to pay roughly? Let's say a rough range.
Okay. We've engineered our solution, Giancarlo, in a way that we're almost on a par with the price of polystyrene. So with some exceptions where there's very high volume tiered pricing for large customers, generally we're probably around about 5% more. We offer several solutions and we work with our customers to really understand their supply chain, and we give them a fit for purpose solution. So there's two variables that we can control within our formulation, and that's the density and the thickness. And in so doing, we're able to give them exactly what they need at a competitive price point. And as well as that, when you factor in all the inherent cost savings around our solution because it's flat packed, we had one client in New Zealand that had 73% of their space designated for polystyrene storage. So when you factor in those, we're actually cheaper than styrofoam.
All right, great.
Hi, Joanne. I was wondering if you could speak to if you've done any studies on the overall sustainability of your own personal supply chain as you look to grow.
Yes, we have. Yes. One of the things, like as an Australian, and Australia is a wool country, it was my goal to set up our supply chain and to manufacture using Australian wool here in Australia. That wasn't to be because a lot of the manufacturing here in Australia went offshore to China in the 70s and 80s. And after much research, that's where I had to set up the supply chain. We're 4 years in now. A lot of things have changed. And we've just got a project at the moment. We've got government assistance as well. And we're looking to vertically integrate and to own our own supply chain here in Victoria. So at the same time, we're doing a life cycle analysis to look at our impact, but we're very conscious of all of those things, and we're constantly looking at the next evolution of our product.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hannah.
Hi, Joanne, it's Leonie. What would you say are your key differentiators from other companies in the same space? I know in the US, there are a few that are on the market. And second part of that question is, do you plan on expanding beyond Asia, or sorry, beyond Australia, and then perhaps even entering the Asian market?
Yes, so I am aware that there's lots of competitors in this space in the US. My immediate plans, as I said, Asia is 46% of the market. A lot of the new retail innovations are happening in China, Indonesia, and India. There's ample opportunity, like of all the plastic that's entering the oceans, it comes from 10 rivers, and 8 of those rivers are located in Asia. So for me, in the short term, the short to medium term, the focus is on Asia. Ultimately, we might extend beyond that, but there's lots of opportunities for here. And all of the competitors that are in the US are not in Australia. So really our product in terms of sustainability and thermal performance, wool is the best natural insulator on the planet. And we really have unrivaled green credentials. The biggest competitor is styrofoam, and in the Asian market, the only solution available is styrofoam.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
Great.
Leon.
Thank you, Joanne from Planet Protector Packaging.
Thanks, Victoria.
A minute to the judges to enter your scoring. And next, I'd like to invite up Mining Process Solutions.
Hi, my name is Ivor Bryan, and I'm co-founder and managing director of Mining and Process Solutions. As we move to a decarbonized world, we require huge volumes of metals like nickel, copper, and cobalt. For example, each electric vehicle will require 4 times more copper over an internal combustion engine. Renewable energy sources in wind power and in solar also require substantial quantities of copper, and then there is network distribution and storage to consider. For copper alone, there is a projected deficit of 10 million tons by 2030. This is equivalent to 8 times the production of the world's largest copper mine. Geoscience Australia, a public sector body, has identified that in Australia alone, there are 2 million tons of copper, 2.5 million tons of nickel, and 250,000 tons of cobalt that are marginally sub-economic with current technology. These resources, worth around $70 billion, are considered viable with a technology shift. Globally, this extrapolates to a massive $400 billion worth of energy metals available for tomorrow's electrification and decarbonization. Our solution unlocks these marginal resources using glycine leaching technology. It not only offers a substantial reduction in the economic cost, allowing these ores to become viable, but also addresses a range of environmental and social issues associated with more traditional mining. Glycine is the key reagent in MPS's smart chemistry. It allows for the selective dissolution of valuable targeted metals and is an effective alternative to toxic chemicals such as sulfuric acid and cyanide. Critically, glycine does not dissolve valueless gangue minerals. Unlike sulfuric acid and cyanide, glycine is not consumed in the process and so can be recycled and reused. This is the source of glycine's unique cost advantage. The ability to turn previously non-viable deposits into viable glycine opportunity gives us a competitive advantage. It underpins a conservative total available market, or TAM, of greater than $1 billion. This has been derived from identifying specific acid-consuming geological deposits that are suitable for our technology. Glycine is a simple amino acid that is naturally present in the human body. It is produced in pharmaceutical grade like this. Don't try this with sulfuric acid. It is non-toxic and available in bulk. We have already de-risked the process through successive testing and development stages. MPS is now ready to progress this technology to large-scale implementation. We expect to derive value from multiple revenue sources that include license and service fees with major mining companies, chemical sales royalties, and earning into equity in projects that use our technology. A current ARR of $2 million per annum is expected to rise to $10 million per annum in 3 years and over $20 million within 5 years. We have solid industry validation with over $8 million spent to date by mining companies in testing and piloting the technology for candidate ores. As a result, we have executed 6 licenses with potential users and have 7 advanced projects. We have a strong patent portfolio and have established initial channels to market. Our award-winning team consists of well-seasoned industry executives that have experience in developing mining service businesses. We also have a strong technical team passionate about next-generation mining solutions. MPS, unlocking stranded metals to accelerate a sustainable tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivor.
Hi, Ivor. I was wondering if you could speak to some of your current licensees and what mining purposes they're using your glycine for.
Okay, so we have 6 advanced projects that are in piloting and demonstration phase. And in fact, 1 is pre-commercial. 3 of them are overseas and 3 of them are in Australia. A few of them are based on retreating of previously mined tailings, so the waste from the previous mining operations. And because of our economies due to use glycine, we can retreat those and generate metals from them. So about 4 of them are targeted at retreatment of what we call tailings, and the other projects are more at existing operations and retrofitting the technology to those operations.
Thank you.
I should say we're actually working with 3 of the largest mining operations in Australia currently.
Leonie or Giancarlo, do you
Yeah,
have any questions?
yeah. I was wondering what's the I mean, if a company like BHP or another mining company in Australia is using it, what's their let's say delta in let's say increased yield or increased recovery rate? Are we talking about something incremental, or it could be a game changing let's say technology in terms of advantages for them?
I think our initial target market is very focused on those deposits that are currently considered marginal, and I guess high priority on those deposits are those deposits that are acid consumers. Generally, if they're actually hosted in a limestone rock, then traditional technology using sulfuric acid just isn't viable. So we are working with some of those companies, those large companies, on some of these stranded deposits and new deposits, but less so on the existing operations.
Okay, thanks.
Leonie, do you have a question?
No, I read through the deck, so everything looks great to me, and thank you for the other judges who asked.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, thank you, Ivor from Mining Process Solutions.
Thank you.
Okay, let's give the judges 30 seconds. And I'd like to invite up Awesome Ray to the stage and get set up.
Okay, start.
Judges, good to go?
Yep.
All right, great. You have the floor.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Seung Kim, CEO of Awesome Ray from South Korea. Spell of Awesome Ray is not S, but X, as in XTC. Can you breathe freely in this kind of air condition? And COVID-19 has changed our whole life. Even some variants begin to appear. Can a face mask save us? What about building? And what about your house? You cannot cover the buildings with mask. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Okay, there's some problem with our presentation materials. Our buildings have AHU, which have its capacity like human lungs. Insertion of filter is the same as wearing a face mask, which lower flow rate. And every filter has problem like ozone generation. Moreover, if clean is not green, that's a problem. So here are the objectives of Awesome Ray. First, reducing fine dust without lowering flow rate. Second, reducing bacteria and virus in the air. And third one, developing sustainable purifying system without filter wastes. All you have this kind of experience. We call it electrostatics. We use this we use electrostatic force from photoionization utilizing our light source. Awesome Ray ionize fine dust particle and virus, and charged particles are caught by charging plates, so we can supply clean and safe air. Using this tiny light bulb, we develop our smart ventilation module, which is installed in the middle of the duct line. There needs no more additional space. Okay. Most interesting is that our light source generates enough radiation for the photoionization, but it is not X-ray, but Awesome Ray, because we use the power of under 5 kilovolts. Official test shows 99.9% of fine dust, airborne bacteria, and virus can be removed. Air quality in this key zone stay at the level of value 5 during operation hours. We started to study the ability of our lighting source to kill and destroy virus. And we got the first result of a COVID-19 virus. 17.5% of virus is destroyed by only 1 second of the radiation. We have two types of modules. One is for the AHU, and the other is for the ELV in the small and medium size of building. There are already 9 buildings installed with our systems. After installation of products, the price of these buildings went up 15%. This is why we co-work with asset management companies. And our system is also installed at the COVID-19 vaccination center in this spring. And our private campus of Samsung Electric Company adopted our system last year, which is an excellent reference. And we will expand this to these fields. Awesome Ray is 3 years old startup and raised $10 million. Air quality control is the first our product, and we will be expanded to seawater sterilization and low-dose medical imaging. We already started R&D. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Over to you, judges.
Yeah, sorry for the misoppression.
Oh, not at all. No, it's great.
Hi, Soon. This is Leonie. What are your, I don't think I missed it, but what are your unit economics?
Pardon me? Oh.
You're on mute, Leonie.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought I unmuted myself. I apologize for that. What are your unit economics?
Economics? Sorry, I cannot understand.
The cost of a unit.
Cost of unit.
Cost of, yep.
Yeah, about $10,000.
Okay, and your margins are currently at what cost? At what percent?
Margin about cost?
Yes.
Yeah, about 30%.
Okay, thank you.
I was wondering, one question here. It's apart from COVID, is there any, let's say, any example that you can provide where this system was, let's say, way superior to anything that was available, similar technology? Like an example where a customer would pay a very high premium to have this technology, where the result would be much better compared to traditional technology.
Yeah, this is very good questions. UV or plasma or some technology try to kill the virus, but it is very hard to destroy virus in the very fast flow rate. Most of UV and plasma tests is just radiation to the vial, but it is impossible to remove airborne bacteria and virus using like this. We remove the virus in 2 ways. The first one is directly destroying using the rhizomes. And the second one is catching charged virus in the plate. So 99.9% of the removed results can be established. But there is no similar technology before. So it is very hard to explain to the other customers.
Okay. Thanks.
Hannah, do you have any questions? Oh, great. Thank you, Sehun from Awesome Ray. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Next, let's give judges 30 seconds for scoring, and let's invite Resync to the stage. Okay, judges good to go?
Yep. Can you see my
All
screen?
right. Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Amir. I'm CEO and co-founder of Resync. Based in Singapore, we started around 4 years ago, spinned off from London-based accelerator called Entrepreneur First. And in Singapore, we are backed by SG Innovate as one of the deep tech companies. And what we provide intelligent energy efficiency solutions, which are driven by AI and machine learning models. As you know, the whole energy infrastructure is going through drastic transformation. And this transformation is mainly driven by a few factors. Of course, drastically dropping price of renewables like solar, wind energy, digitalization of the whole ecosystem with internet access almost everywhere with IoT devices and smart meters, high adoption of energy storage systems like batteries and electric vehicles, and of course, implementation of AI and machine learning models for the automation purposes. And all this together driving traditional grid towards what we call smart grid. And at the heart of this transformation lays the data. So whichever company using their data efficiently can save up to 30% of their energy usage. And that's what we provide at Resync. We ensure that we provide cutting-edge technology for our customers. We made it fully reliable infrastructure in terms of data aggregation, storing, processing, and feeding it back to the customer. We made it affordable so it can be used by SMEs, small, medium enterprises, but at the same time, large MNCs. It can be scaled from one site to thousands of sites within a matter of few days. We are fully cloud-based, so we are based in Singapore, but we serve customers across different markets, and we can customize our solution depending on the customer needs. Quick overview how our solution works. We have solutions which can be integrated on a specific customer stakeholder, who is basically IoT asset owners or solar and wind power plants or individual building owners. We can aggregate data in real time from all the assets on the premises and process it on a cloud and then take real-time control actions depending on what is the most efficient performance required for the end user. At the same time, we have some projects where we perform virtual power plant, which is called VPP in an energy space. So we basically collect and synchronize multiple buildings and multiple distributed assets between themselves, and then take real-time control actions over the cloud or on a premise. Our core product is our analytics and platform, which basically can be compatible with all tier 1 hardware manufacturers, be it Huawei, Schneider, ABB, Honeywell, etc. But at the same time, some customers require end-to-end solutions. So at the moment, we can provide them the hardware plus software component as well. Our hardware component goes as a complementer, which can be communicated to multiple distributed assets at the same time and can take real-time control actions. We started our journey with focus on renewable asset management 4 years ago, because that's where the prior knowledge of the founders coming from. And then we expanded to the smart building solutions. In fact, we received a grant from the Singapore government of $1 million to commercialize our solution within Singapore market. We have customers from telecommunication business where we help them to manage their distributed telco towers. We did some projects in Norway with Nissan on EV and mobility, but we feel in market in Asia is a bit slow. And we have some microgrids in the region where we manage off-grid and hybrid microgrids. Our uniqueness of our solution that we can provide to the customer disaggregation of their energy assets without installing any additional hardware. So in a simple words, one thing we have all in common, we all receive monthly bills of our electricity, but we have no clue where that difference, month-to-month difference or annual difference coming from. Is it from my AC? Is it from my fridge? Is it because I'm using too much of washing machine and etc.? But what we do without installing any additional hardware, purely from the energy meters that you have at every house, we can disaggregate those assets. We can give you real-time performance and showcase how much and how long you've been using that specific asset. And that's purely done by the in-house developed machine learning algorithms that we use. We call it NILM. Same thing we do for commercial buildings, and we help customers to change their behavior in terms of energy asset usages. So we can disaggregate the buildings in terms of HVAC usage, data centers or data servers that they have, or any heating elements that they have within the building. quick overview of our portfolio. We have around 600 megawatt of solar assets that we manage with more than 20 customers across 7 countries. We processed millions and millions of data. As you can see, these are some snaps of our solution where we help customers to do a lot of different type of analytics like predictive maintenance, ticketing system, machine learning based forecasting for intraday, a few days ahead with a 15-minute resolution. We do component level details. We dive up to the specific IoT device. We do a lot of facility management where you can create the organizational chart within our platform. You can take real-time control actions and etc. We're a B2B company. We charge one-time integration cost and it's an annual subscription. These are some of the customers that are using our solution. We are a fully techie team founded by 2 engineers, myself and my co-founder, Dr. Jantik, and the rest of the team is mainly focusing on the software engineering, machine learning optimization, and etc. Thank you. We'll be happy to answer all your questions.
Amir, thanks for your presentation. Are you planning to focus more on commercial, like large residential buildings, or also residential applications, essentially B2B or B2C? What's your main focus?
Yeah, so we are a B2B company. We don't actually go around and knock every household door. We work with the housing development boards that, for example, in Singapore, we call it HDB, or we have some companies who are managing multiple condominiums. So we basically showcase to them what our value proposition, and then we just install in all the greenfield houses. And with some utility providers, because they own the energy meters in all the houses, we can basically integrate our solution automatically to the large scale. In fact, we were part of the documentary called Climate Change Wicked Problem of CNA, Channel New Asia, where we selected 3 houses and we basically installed our solution for 8 weeks. And we showcased them the value proposition, how much of the energy savings we can provide. And all 3 families were saving between 35% to 45% of their energy of month-to-month change.
Okay, and are you doing the analysis? Are you focusing on the analysis, or you're also planning in the future to participate to the energy trading?
So at the moment, we do pure analysis and real-time control. Of course, we have one project which are working in a smart campus in Thailand. It's around 200 buildings. And that's where we're working with Australian company called Power Ledger. I don't know if you heard about them. So they do blockchain-based energy trading. So we work with them. We provide the infrastructure, and then they provide the blockchain infrastructure or the backend in order to check like whether the energy generated by which building is being utilized and etc. So the whole point of energy trading is that you need entire system to be able, and infrastructure should be ready for energy trading. So you can't just go and install it at one building and other buildings are not ready for that. But of course we have it in our roadmap that we already started doing testing, as I mentioned.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Amir. I was wondering if you could speak to some of your product offering against the competition. I know I've been seeing a lot of movement in the data analysis space for energy management.
Yep, sure. So energy management is quite wide term, and especially energy efficiency. So annually, there's been $190 billion spent on specifically building energy efficiency solutions. So the unique value proposition that we provide at Resync is that our solution, as I mentioned, is compatible with all tier 1 hardware manufacturers. And we utilize in-house development machine learning models, which can basically be predefined. So we don't need to go to the customer site and do the evaluation of the building, evaluation of the equipment. We have predefined algorithms, which are basically installed in directly at the customer end. And over the time, it learns by itself what is the behavior of end user, because we can disaggregate their assets automatically. So we don't need the end customer to see then go through checklist, oh, I have HVAC, or I have AHU, or I have data service, and etc. Our algorithms disaggregated automatically by itself. So that saves us a lot of time in terms of logistics, a lot of installations, and etc. So that basically makes our solution quite competitive in the market.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi, Amir.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Is there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leonie.
Yes, Amir, I wanted to ask if you were to go back to the partner slide, or you don't have to, but could you talk a little bit about the partnerships and what that means? What types of partnerships are they?
Oops. Yep. So I'll just run through a couple of partners which are from different domains. So Housing Development Board is basically owning most of the government houses in Singapore, flats. So we basically work with them to distribute our solution to 10,000 households in the next 1 year. SP Group is the largest utility in Singapore. We are working with them because they're owning most of the energy metering infrastructure in Singapore.
So they're customers basically. So they're paying.
Yeah, these are all the customers.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we have Aztec. They're similar to Honeywell at the smaller scale. So they're hardware manufacturers. We provide the firmware and software part. They provide the hardware infrastructure.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Great. Oh, I'm sorry, did I interrupt anybody? Okay, great. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, let's invite Sayubata to the stage to get set up while we give the judges about 30 seconds to score.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Your audio is coming through as well. Okay, judges, you ready?
Yep.
Oh, great. Phila, you have the stage.
Hi, everyone. My name is Fela, and I'm the CEO and also one of the co-founders at the brand Salubata. At Salubata, we have this proprietary technology that sequesters carbon in shoes. Our mission is to invent lifestyle technologies that help people and the planet, as recognized by the IEEE. Over the past few months, we've been able to bootstrap and currently have over $10,000 in monthly recurrent revenue. We have a total bootstrapped revenue of over $50,000 and currently have over 1,400 recurrent and paying customers via bootstrap. We've also gone ahead to further validate our costs by winning these regional, local, and global competitions. So last month, we were invited to speak at the world's largest event for the planet. That is Change Now. Our team is built for core competence in customer acquisition and design. We have complementary skill sets that is necessary to scale our innovation. We also have key advisors, such as Sonia Ju, Christopher Williams, who is a global specialist in business, brand, and commercial strategy. He's also president of African Leadership University. We also have various additions to our team who also makes it makes our team fit for sustainability of our business. We saw a huge market opportunity here. The global footwear market is currently valued at $264 billion, and by 2027, this will be $564 billion. Our target of this sustainable footwear market is about 10%, which is about 5.8% growth by 2027. That's 1.2 billion per annum. Our target audience is either male or female, and that has an average disposable income between low to medium level of disposable income, and is currently seeking an experience of comfort and service dispensation, and are resident in urban and peri-urban regions. And so the question is, why do we do what we do? In a year alone, there are over 381 million tons of plastic waste produced. Now, the sad part to this is that just only about 9% of this waste have ever been recycled, like ever. And so another problem we realize is that we have a lot of recycling companies around, but the volume of the plastic waste in the environment not only remains constant, but also more in the environment. And so we have more people reusing this waste rather than recycle or upcycle them. And so it was with this background, we started imagining if we could convert all of this plastic waste to footwear. We also realized that the potential for impact is so huge. The global footwear market is currently valued at this. And that is why we decided to buy this niche of low-cost recycled plastic shoes that makes a profit, while also benefiting people and the planet. We currently have a patent on our invention. And so aside the fact that the shoes are made from plastic waste, they're also modular. I'm going to show you a quick sample of one of the shoes. And so the fact, aside the fact that they're made from plastic waste, they're also modular. And so this shoe itself, in total, sells for $60 with the extra modular components. So it is detachable. And so an extra component sells for $20 extra. And so as a customer, you do not have to buy a lot of shoes, especially when you're traveling. So all you need to buy is just one shoe with a lot of uppers. And so what we're doing is that we are helping to improve the energy efficiency in producing an extra sole, because it costs about 70%, the sole production costs about 70% extra to make a shoe. And so for every shoe you purchase, you are going to be contributing to offsetting 12.66 kilograms of carbon dioxide equivalent. And also because we realize that the downwind impact of these pollutants affect the people in the underserved communities the most, that's why we commit 5% of the cost of each shoe sold to the cost of empowering women in these communities. Here are our acquisition channels. And so we commenced in 2018. Currently, our patent and design rights on our invention. We bootstrapped to the day to reach over 400,000 customers as of November 2021. We currently have a shoe sizing app due to the waste we've encountered over time. And this works on artificial intelligence, which enable customers to scan their feet and get exact volume of the feet. As I said, we bootstrapped to reach our first 1,500 customers of April, raised 150,000 in May, and we are currently seeking to raise $1 million. And this would enable us boost customer acquisition and also scale manufacturing. 55% of this we dedicated into manufacturing at a cost of manufacturing of $15 per shoe. This will yield 37,000 shoes per month. And so what that means is that our revenue would scale up to over $2.2 million in recurrent and growing revenue per month. 5% is dedicated into the cost of acquisition per customer. And so this will yield 90,000 recurrent and paying customers and further boost our franchise. I will leave the rest to questions. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
Great, thank you for your presentation. Judges, on to you for your questions.
Hi, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, I have a question. So what would you say is your go-to-market strategy, and what is the need for the shoe? Do you plan on ultimately expanding beyond that single product line, or will there be additional
Yes, so thank you so much for the question. To date, we've been able to achieve proof of concept. We've sold over 3,300 shoes to date via Bootstrap. And so that is B2C. And so our other channels of acquisition entails B2B. And that is one of the reasons why we are considering the franchise model, whereby we have a lot of retailers all over the world. And also, we're also considering manufacturing, people buying into our technology, that anywhere in the world we can produce these similar shoes. So that's also going to be a major revenue stream for us. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you planning to let's say recollect the let's say the feedstock for your recyclable sole? Are you getting it from municipalities? Are you getting it from customers? Are you planning to get this material back or recycle it from somewhere? What is your feedstock source?
All right, thank you so much for the question. Yes, so in a couple of months, that is in 2 months, we are currently setting up collection centers. So what we are trying to establish at Salubata is a closed loop system where nothing escapes. So we are currently establishing collection centers in cities whereby customers are being, take their shoes there and are being paid a fee and to add to a new shoe they are going to purchase. So that is the way we are going to collect the shoes. But in a couple of months, that will start putting that into action. But we are currently establishing collection centers whereby the shoes that are being used are being reused over time.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, I was wondering if you could speak a bit to how you imagine keeping recurring customers. Um, I saw that mentioned, and some shoes seem like a one-time purchase at times.
Say that again, please. I didn't get that.
How do you imagine keeping recurring customers versus a one-time shoe purchase?
So I didn't get that. Can you type that?
I'm sorry. What I'm wondering is
Hannah,
yeah.
can you type your question in chat as well, just in case there's some connectivity issues?
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
In the meanwhile, maybe we can ask. Oh, maybe we don't have enough time. Yeah, sorry.
We do. Go ahead and ask your question.
I was wondering what are you planning to use as a differentiator? This is a super competitive market. You have big multinationals competing for the same customers. How are you planning to defend yourself?
Well, right now we currently occupy this niche, and this niche of modular shoes already. And aside the fact that we make shoes from recycled plastic waste, our shoes are also modular, and this invention is currently patented, and we have a design right on this. I believe that's competitive edge, and it is one of the reasons why we want to scale our manufacturing so we can impact more people, we can get more people to know about what we're doing. Thank you.
Okay, Hannah, your question. So Phila, here's the question. How do you imagine keeping recurring customers opposed to a one-time purchase?
All right, thank you so much for the question. If you can see my screen, this is the shoe. This is the model. And so for every shoe you purchase, you have an extra offer that comes with it. And so over time, we have a customer that have purchased extra of these five offers. So instead of you buying just one shoe that sells for $60, you are buying this shoe with an offer that sells for $60. And so instead of you buying an extra shoe, what you are buying is an extra offer every time. And so we calculated the lifetime value for a customer for the next 5 years at 1,000. And so in about 60 months, this is what we estimate that in a year alone, each customer spends an average of over $200 to $250 using this model.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Phila, for your presentation.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's invite EcoVadis to the stage to set up. Okay, let's give a few, about 10 seconds. Okay, please begin.
All right. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. So I'm pleased to introduce you to EcoVadis, the most trusted provider of business sustainability ratings. So what we do is we are assessing the performance of organizations all over the world on environment, social, and business ethics. And we do that mainly for large corporations to assess their supply chains. So in other words, we are to corporate social responsibility what Standard & Poor's or Dun & Bradstreet are to finance. As you all know, the sustainability subtopics is booming. It's increasing the risk exposure of large corporations who have tens of thousands of suppliers all over the world, as you can imagine. And as the supply chain are really huge, a big supply chain means also big responsibility for those corporations that have not much information on what is really happening as far as environment, social, and ethics is concerned in their thousands of suppliers. So before EcoVadis exists, what they were trying to do is to send questionnaire. They would design their own methodology, if you will, and then produce Excel questionnaire that they send out to each of their suppliers. So it's a pretty cumbersome process. The suppliers are receiving many of those questionnaires, pretty much asking the same question, but they had absolutely zero feedback on, what happened after they had answers. So we come up with the idea, Pierre-François Thaler and myself, my co-founder, a couple of years ago, 14 years ago, to in fact put some technology and expertise around a platform that is a SaaS platform that creates a network where those buyers and those suppliers could share a reliable rating on their CSR performance. So we designed a process with experts, but also technology, whereby we are able to assess in a very industrialized manner tens of thousands of companies all over the world, regardless of their size, their business, and their geographic location. So we do not go on site. We have a process that mixes, again, the technology and information that we are receiving from those organizations, but also hundreds of thousands of data points that comes from other stakeholders. And we embed all this into the system. The algorithm are helping us rating the performance together with the expert eyes of our CSR experts. So the organization is global today. We have 13 offices, 850 employees, 50 nationalities on board. So it covers the world and follow the sun, as we say. A fairly experienced international management team with people in North America, in Europe, and in Asia. And we have a quite attractive business model or impact model, I should say. First, the company is growing pretty fast. We are actually onboarding 1,600 new clients every month, and it's B2B, all subscription-based, SaaS, everybody pays. And basically, we are now reaching a network of about 75,000 companies globally in 155 countries. And what is quite nice about all this is that, in fact, the EcoVadis technology and rating is leveraging on the procurement power of all those organizations to basically raise awareness and incentivize every single suppliers in the supply chain, but also, cascading this down to the tier end. So that means supplier of suppliers, to give them incentive to do better on those important subjects. But we also provide those companies a lot of information, feedback, benchmark, on how they perform and where they could improve so that they can set themselves into an improvement journey. So it's a huge impact globally. We see thousands of corrective action being set up on the platform every month. And we are actually after a huge market, which is a 5 million company to be rated at some point in time. Thank you very much, and open for questions. If any, of course.
Yeah, just over to you.
Hi, this is Leonie. Thank you for your presentation. So you've raised a substantial amount of funding so far. Why are you raising now, and what would the use of funds be for?
We are not right now raising. We are looking at the opportunities. We are, in fact, preparing because the company is growing so fast that we know that at some point we're going to reach the financial elasticity of the model. If you are today imagining that we are assessing, a couple of tens of thousands of companies every year, but we should be assessing millions. And if you look at the tailwind that the CSR subject, ESG subject is benefiting from, the entire market right now, we believe that we should be on the starting block so that if we need capital, we have access to it in no time.
Okay, thank you.
are you planning to? I mean, one way to work with corporations is, of course, to get them rated and assessed. Are you planning also? Do you have already some sort of collaborations where you collaborate with an industrial player that needs to basically rate and assess a group of major assets like refineries, gas plants, renewable assets, offering like a way for that specific company to provide their customer an additional service?
So it's not on the roadmap right now. We believe that to be successful, we really need to be laser focused. If you imagine that today we have 75,000 customers globally, and tomorrow we need to have probably 2 or 3 million by doing just what we are doing today, assessing companies' performance. In fact, we're assessing the quality of their management system in corporate social responsibility. We want to focus on this. So assessing assets is a really different pattern, different ball game in a way, and we feel that right now the expansion for us is more, for instance, on the private equity world, that are using more and more our assessment and our solution to assess their portfolio companies. So there is already a huge labor of opportunity in our core business by assessing and rating companies' performance. So for now, the answer is not yet, no.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm wondering, are you seeing a recurring desire from your company customers for insight into each supplier over time, or has it been?
And actually, it's a very good question, because I did not mention that everybody subscribe because we are monitoring their performance in time. So we are constantly screening our sources of data points, through cutting edge technology to identify, new risks or opportunities for all the companies that we have in the database. So basically, companies are staying subscribed. They subscribe to the platform and they stay subscriber. So it's we don't work into a repeat business mode, because by definition the model is that the company stays subscribed.
Thank you.
Thanks for your question.
Great. Thank you for your presentation, EcoVadis.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Great. I want to invite Mycelium next to set up on the stage, and 30 seconds to the judges.
Hello, can you hear me?
You're cutting out a little bit.
I don't hear you very well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us okay?
Okay, I will share my screen now.
Okay. I can hear you, but you're cutting out a little bit. So maybe if it's if it's a connectivity issue, I don't know if you want to turn off your video during presentation so your audio will come out better.
Okay.
Let's try that. And then you can turn back on your video for Q&A. Yeah.
I can turn off my video because my connection is very weak.
Okay, yeah. Let's try that. Maybe that's better. Okay, say something.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, hold on.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Great. You have the floor, Mohammed.
I am CEO and founder of Mycelium. And every time I visited Cairo, I noticed that the sky isn't blue. It is gray. The pollution in downtown Cairo is more than 200 times of acceptable world standard. So that 2 people for every 1,000 have the risk of developing serious respiratory diseases. And that's because from 44 million tons of agricultural waste, we only recycle 12%, and most of the rest is burned. And that because of industry and open air waste burning. And here we come up with our innovative solution, Mycelium. Mycelium, a biotech startup that uses the natural ability of mushroom cells, which called the mycelium, to convert any kind of agriculture waste into new material that looks like industrial styrofoam. So we literally grow material instead of manufacturing it. So how it works? We begin by pasteurization of the agriculture waste to be sure that it's clean and wet. And after that, we mix it with our magical bioformula, mycelium. And then we put all together in the mold and keep them in dark and humid places. And after 7 days of incubation, we get a material that is light, strong, fireproof, acoustic, and thermal insulated, which can replace styrofoam in all applications. We started with insulation panels that is used in refabricated homes.
Hello, Mohammed, you're there? I think we just lost your audio. Let's see. Okay, it looks like he disconnected. How about this? Why don't we go to the last presenter, Metron, and then when he signs back, Shale, will you just ping him and we'll have him go later? He might be resolving some internet issues.
Yes, that's fine.
Hello?
Oh, you're back.
I'm sorry.
I was just offering that we can have the next presenter go first, and then move you to be the last presenter, so that you have a few minutes to resolve any internet issues.
Oh, okay. It will be
Okay.
great.
Yeah. So we're gonna have you go next. We're gonna call on the next company. How does that sound?
Okay, it's very good.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, well, thank you for being flexible. Now I'd like to invite our next presenter, Metron, to the stage.
So, hello, sharing the screen. Okay, hello everyone. Metron Solution is dedicated for large industrials who want to increase their sustainability, their energy efficiency and productivity, as Metron Solution is a big data and AI approach to tackle those, I would say, challenges of Industry 4.0, so the ability to get added value from your existing data on production sites, and the energy transition, so the new way to produce and consume energy. And in between, from our return of experience, the big challenges is the change management. So the ability to commit and engage all the profile of the factories and corporate management in those new challenges. So Metron Solution is dedicated to any type of profile, from operators up to group management. So the main idea is to push the right information at the right time to the right people. The idea here is to, raise the decision capacity of each profile. Basically, this is dedicated for each profile and any type of maturity level in terms of energy management. If the industrials is tracking his invoice monthly or annually, if it has already KPIs in real time, kilowatt hours per ton of product, for example, an ISO 50001 certification, or if he wants to move further to this purple area, and starting with baselines, basically statistical model like linear regressions, random forest, KNN, and the idea is to have a dynamic model references, including all the influences parameters, like the production, of course, the more you produce, the more you consume, but also the type of product, pressures, flow, temperatures, all process parameters, and even, of course, the weather forecast, the humidity, and so on. And then moving to AI simulation combined with solvers. So the idea is to push piloting, support, recommendation, so that you can fine-tune the way you're operating, decreasing your consumption and your carbon footprint on a very efficient way. So this is a cloud-based solution. In orange, you have here all the type of existing data like PLCs, process data, energy data, of course, but also ERP production data. We use an OPC UA servers, so a data collector who is able to push on a secure way all the data to the cloud, where we clean the data, store them, analyze them, and push them back on the web dashboards accessible with login and passwords. So basically, we provide the technology, a nice web platform with all the basic features of EMS, but including also all the big data analysis baselines and AI, and even a module to do by yourself your own, I would say, analysis and yes, baselines. And we provide also a human expertise to our customers, industrial customers, saying that anyone can play with data, but you need also experts in data science, in energy and industrial assets. So this is the combination of several expertise between energy, the knowledge of the customers, and data science. We have more than 100 customers worldwide, industrials in many sectors consuming lots of energy and wanting to decrease their own carbon footprint. So we are based in Paris, HQ is in Paris, but we have 10 subsidiaries worldwide. The new one just opened in Moscow a few weeks ago, and we are more than 150 people worldwide with nice alliances in France, Italy, Japan, and South Korea with those companies who are providing the Metron solution for their own customers, nice investors, and awards. So thank you for listening and ready for any question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerome. Judges, over to you for questions.
Jerome, what's your ideal investor? I mean, you've been in this journey for 4 or 5 years, several rounds of later stage VC. What sort of ideal investors are you looking now? Is it more financial, strategic? Any specific characteristics?
Basically, I mean, we have the Series A already done, of course. The Series B is almost done, I would say. We are more looking for alliance and partners like big ESCOs or utilities who are able and would be interested in those 4.0 energy brick for their own customers in any zone of the world. But basically more partners and alliances who are interested in such product. Yeah.
Okay. And what sort of revenue range is Metron right now? If it's not confidential, of course.
I actually am not sure that I'm able to disclose such information. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I think I'd be interested in understanding your competitive advantage that you see versus, again, some of the other players that are entering into the asset management with energy as well.
Yeah, sure. Actually, we targeted really the industrial sectors, saying that, again, we are not just proposing a platform, but also a large expert support. So in terms of energy and the knowledge of the big assets, could be with paper, iron and steel, glass, cement, food and beverage, etc. So that the challenges of industrials are very particular. It's not like for buildings or SMEs. So basically, this is with a strong knowledge of these sectors, those assets, and combined with the data science approach. So basically, this is what we propose to a customer.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions from the judges? Okay, good. Thank you for your presentation, Jerome from
Thank you
Metron.
very much.
Great.
Victoria,
Let's give the judges. Hello.
Sorry, Mohammed is back on, so I don't know if we want to try to go back to mycelium after 30.
Yes, we are. Mohammed,
I'm ready.
How's your internet connection at right now?
I think it is better now.
Okay, much better. Great, great. You have the stage.
Okay. I will start from the beginning or
Yes, start from the beginning, please.
Okay. Hello everyone. I am Muhammad, co-founder and CEO of Mycelium. Every time I visit Cairo, I noticed that the sky isn't blue. It's gray. The air pollution in downtown Cairo is more than 10 to 100 times of acceptable world standard. So that 2 people for every 1,000 have the risk of developing serious respiratory diseases. And that's because from 44 million tons of agricultural waste, we only recycle 12%, and most of the rest is burned. And that's because mainly of industry and open air waste burning. So we come up with our innovative solution, Mycelium. Mycelium is a biotech startup that uses the natural ability of mushroom cells, which called the mycelium, to convert agricultural waste, which usually burn. We convert it into new material that looks like industrial styrofoam plastic. So we literally grow material instead of manufacturing it. And here how it works. It begins by pasteurization, where we make sure that the rice straw is wet and clean from any sort of contamination. Then we mix our magical bioformula with the straw, and after that we put all together in the mold and keep them in dark and humid places. And after 7 days, we got light, strong, fireproof, acoustic, and thermal insulator, which can replace styrofoam in all applications. We started with insulation panels. It is used in refabricated homes, which is able to save 60% of electricity bill, and it prevents building up of moisture because it is breathable and free of VOC. And when discarded into the soil, it converts into fertilizer. Our market size is more than $9 billion and increased by 3.6% per year. We targeted $500 million, which is the market size of insulation panel in MENA market. Our business model is built on selling each 1 kilogram of product for $7, with a gross profit margin 76% for B2B of refabricated homes contractor in Egypt. And since we launched the product in April 2020, we prevented 2 tons of agricultural waste to be burned. We position ourselves as 100% natural, sustainable material that have the same cost of other synthetic material. And our scale-up plan will be implemented in 3 steps. In step 1, we expect to set up a pilot plant with a production capacity of 20 tons per month, addressed to domestic market with $120,000 monthly revenue. In the step 2, we will increase our production capacity to reach 30 tons to scale our market to MENA market with $180,000 monthly revenue. In step 3, we will reach the maximum capacity of the production with monthly revenue $240,000 per month. So we are raising $250,000 to expand our production facility and grow our team. Our team has 24 years of cumulative experience, especially in biofabrication and production technology. Finally, Mycelium is low-cost, eco-friendly material that supports circular economy. We wanted to lead and distribute this material not only in Egypt, but also across all Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed, for your presentation. Thank you. Over to you, judges.
Hi, Mohammed. This is Leonie. Would you mind expanding on your team just a bit?
I am a microbiologist. I work as a microbiologist for 5 years. Omar Fathi have quality control experience for around 8 years. Mahmoud Fawzi is a technologist, a production engineer who designs our molds and our new equipment. And Muhammad Sarwat have 5 years in marketing and developing strategies.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
How are you planning to get your feedstock? Is there already enough of it to sustain a, let's say, industrial production? Apologize if you already mentioned it.
Here in Egypt, we have a plenty of raw materials. We use now rice straw, and if the rice straw price go higher, we can replace it with wheat straw. We can use maize straw, a wide range of agriculture waste that we can use in mycelium. So the availability and the organization of taking this raw material have now around 60% efficiency, because we organize with the government to support us all the time with information about the availability of the material in a place, and after that we go to bring this material in our facility.
Okay, thanks.
I'm wondering if you have identified partners to help you through the growth process, like potential sales mechanisms.
In the product, I have partner called Al Khwarizmi for refabricated homes, who designed the first samples that we used mycelium in. This caravan he made the inside of the wall with mycelium material. So it is a sandwich panel, have two timber from two sides have timber, and in between our mycelium insulation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions from the judges? Okay, nope. Thank you, Mohammed. I'm sorry, Giancarlo, did I cut you off?
No.
Okay, good. Great. Thank you, Mohammed, for your presentation.
Thanks.
And I just want to give a big thanks to the judges, Hannah Bailey, Giancarlo Savini, and Leonie Weirkoom for your thoughtful questions today. You really help us tease out some of the details. And a big hearty congratulations to our all-night Cleantech energy and environmental solutions startups presented today. We're really impressed and inspired by the great work that you're doing to build a better tomorrow. All of you are now part of the XTC family, and we will continue to help you expand your network and make some introductions. So these exceptional companies are looking to connect with investors and corporate partners. So if anybody watching is interested, please reach out to me or directly to these founders. And to learn more about the startups presented today and all the startups from the XTC 2021 cohort, please head to go.philo.com/XTC and visit their virtual booth. And you can also vote for your favorite startup from this cohort, and the winner of this People's Choice Award, along with the category winners and a special awards winners, will get the opportunity to attend the finale event and pitch there. The Extreme Tech Challenge 2021 Global Finals presented by TechCrunch on July 22nd to battle out for the crown of overall winner of XTC 2021. So please come back and join us again tomorrow for part 2 of this Clean Tech Energy and Environmental Solutions track. The Zoom link can be found on our website, extremetechchallenge.org. And we'll continue to upload all these videos from the category finals to our YouTube channel. So please head there and subscribe so you won't miss them. We'll announce the category winners publicly this Thursday on June 1st. So everyone is invited to attend the Extreme Tech Challenge Global Finale presented by TechCrunch on July 22nd. It is open and free to attend for the public. So join to watch the top startups contenders pitch and stay for the virtual networking with thousands of attendees from Fortune 500 companies, startups, VCs, policymakers, and so forth. And this now wraps up the public pitch session of the Extreme Tech Challenge, Clean Tech and Energy Environmental Solutions track. Thank you so much for joining us today. Remember to follow us on social media to get the latest news and updates from XTC, and have a really great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.